Hey guys, this is Blake from Blake's Sanctum, retro site for retro games. Today I am finally bringing to you part 2 of my 3-part Birth of the Federation fan sequel comparison series. And this is on the Birth of the Federation 2 project. Now, the reason that's been delayed is because I talked with the team members of this project about holding off until they released a new version. However, months have gone by and it looks like it's, from the sound of things, it's going to be a few more months until they release their next demo. So I've decided to go ahead with the existing demo, and as a result I'll do a follow-up comparison down the track, maybe at the end of the year. I'll call it a 2018 comparison, and this can be the 2017 one. To show off all the new features they've been adding throughout this year. And also the Supremacy team have been busy adding heaps of stuff since I did that part 1 video, so it'll be great to go back to them. And also there's 2 versions of Birth of the Empires out there, which I'll be doing for part 3, so it's just going to be easy to do this in 2 different series, this one and then a follow-up series. So let's get on with this. Now, in my part 1 video I talked all about what Birth of the Federation meant to me, and the whole situation with Micropose and Hasbro and how all that went down, and the history of the fan projects and how it came to be that there are 3 projects still going now. So I'm not going to do all that again. So if you come to this video first and you're interested in hearing about how all that came to be, then go check out my part 1 video. But I reckon we'll just get into the actual game itself, eh? Let's go, let's have a look. Now, as you can see, I'm going to put it on Supreme and Large Galaxy, all that kind of stuff, just to show you guys as many ships as possible. And we've got the Federation here, which I think that's Admiral Ross, I think his name was. I remember he was the Admiral in charge of the fleet in Deep Space Nine.
The Romulan Star Empire.
And I remember her, she was the commander in that awesome Season 2 TNG episode where the Federation's racing with the Romulans to get to that Iconian gateway. That was a really great episode.
The United Federation of Planets.
The voice for the Federation?
The Klingon Empire.
There's good old Gowron. I met the actor, I can't remember his name, but I met the actor who played him. He came to a Comic-Con in my city here in South Australia, and he came with Martok. Was Jay Hertzler, whatever his name is, so I remember his name, and they both had their Klingon makeup on and everything. They did like Klingon rap, it was hilarious.
Cardassian Union.
Cardassian Union, so there's Goldemar looking about as happy as he did in the Supremacy demo. I think I made the joke in that one that he'd had too much Cardassian alcohol the day before, was it Kanar or whatever it's called? Looking the same here. Ugh, hang on.
Cardassian Union.
Yeah, I didn't like the Dominion voice in the Supremacy demo, and I like this one even less. Sounds like Quark's mother. The Dominion! I think, like I said in the Supremacy Part 1 demo, I think these guys should go with a Wayun impersonation, because he was the face of the Dominion. You saw him more than anyone, and I love the way he says the Dominion in that episode when they're just about to attack Deep Space Nine, and the Cardassians are saying, oh yeah, let's invade Bajor, even though there's a peace treaty, who cares? And Wayun just shuts them down, and he's sort of like, the Dominion will honour its treaty. And if you take the Dominion out of that and either steal it from the show or do your best impersonation, I reckon that'll sound much better. But that's just my personal opinion. It's up to them what they want to do, but it just sounds a bit funny, that voice, because I mean, we never really saw many women in the Dominion, so it seems to make more sense to go with a male Vorta voice. The female changeling, and maybe one Vorta was a female, I think, in all those seasons. It's better to use female voices for some of the other races where they were more common.
We are the Borg.
Speak of the devil, female Borg voice there. So this is what makes the Birth Federation 2 project really cool, that you can play as the Borg. Now, since I've done that part 1 video of Supremacy, the Supremacy people have told me that you can actually play as the Borg in their game as well. They were just locked out and hidden, but you can activate them in the game's INI or XML files. And they're actually, once you activate them, they've actually got a fair bit of content. Not as much as these guys have, but you can still muck around with them, and I'm not sure if in the latest version, because I haven't tried out yet, they may have actually activated the Borg entirely, and now they're actually in the menu. I'm not sure, I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I'm sure you guys will see that when I do the follow-up comparison if you don't check it out yourselves. And look at this.
Empire.
The Terran Empire. So these guys have decided to add the evil Terran, alternate universe Terran Empire to the game, which is an interesting idea. And I pointed this out to them on their forums, that it's sort of cool and not cool in that we all love the alternate timeline and the evil Terran Empire and probably want to muck around with them, but also it can break immersion in some aspects that you've got these alternate universes in the same galaxy, and so some of the purists who might want to play a game that doesn't have the Federation and Terran Empire in the same galaxy would want the option to turn them off. So and they acknowledge that, and apparently the latest version they're working on now has the option to turn on and off primary races, so you can have a game without the Terran Empire in the galaxy if you want. So that'll be good. So anyway, let's get into showing you some of these races. So normally I would start with the Federation because that's the one most people play as, and I did that with the other demo, but I'm going to go with the most coolest sort of part of the Federation 2, and that is being able to play as the Borg. So let's start a game as that.
Loading.
And
game.
Here we go.
Loading game.
Look at this. We've got Borg Elkars, sort of. And it looks like it's coming on quite nicely. I like how it's got the squiggly stuff, just like in the Borg interfaces that you saw in the show, primarily on Voyager. And the only complaint I had, which I think I mentioned on their forums, which I don't know if they'll look at, it's entirely up to them, of course, is that these boxes having these sort of, I don't know how to describe them, like wireframe kind of boxes, isn't really what's his name, Michael Okuda, who does all the LCARs and alien interfaces. He never seems to have box-like objects like that. They're always filled. They're like this. They're always filled with a colour, and to make them different for all the alien races, he just changes the shape of the buttons and sections, and that's how he does his alien interface. He doesn't seem to do see-through boxes like that. It just sort of slightly breaks immersion there for me when I see that. But nevertheless, I like how this is coming along. It looks really cool. Chucked in a cube there as well. So we're on our Borg homeworld, and we're starting in a nebula, which is interesting. So it's Borg Nebula, Delta Quadrant. Very nice. I like that attention to detail. And we've got some Borg ships. Scout ship. Borg assimilator. Borg transport. Very nice. So let's have a look around. We'll go into the planet, and got some stuff going on here. Borg alcoves, nanobot factories, Borg shipyard. Ha, very nice. That's just standard Federation thing, but I'm sure that'll get changed at some point. Processing plant. These actually, some of those pictures actually look like Dominion ones, so maybe they haven't quite done all the Borg style graphics for this stuff yet, but some of it's definitely coming along. That's still Federation stuff. Where we go? Oh wow, they got a lot of shipyards, don't they? What's that all about? Interesting. So we're in system right now. Embassies, we can talk to people, so this is of course very similar to the other Supremacy demo I was showing. We haven't met anyone yet, so there's no one to talk to. We go to Intel. Of course, this will be where you can see all your planets listed and various stats on what they're doing. Agents, you can get spies to work for you, and they generally seem to be famous people you know from the show. Like I was having a muck around game the other day, and Captain Sisko came up as an agent, which was kind of cool. Science. Here we go. Almost maximum tech, so I should be able to show you guys some of the cool stuff. So let's have a look around at some of this stuff, see if there's any, I think I've already looked at most of the specific Borg buildings. You can of course read about the race that you're playing as. Now let's have a look at these ships. Augmentation ship. And we've got a constructor. That's interesting. Low rate, like the textures look low. Maybe that's a shot from Star Trek Armada. It's hard to tell. Now look at the stats on this Borg cube. Now, since I've started this race first, and if you guys haven't already seen the other Part 1 Supremacy video, you may not be familiar with the standard stats of the other races' ships, but your Federation ships and the other races generally have shield strengths between sort of 600 to 800 or so, like their best ships. Some of the dreadnoughts, like the big Dominion dreadnoughts and stuff like that, might have shields just over 1,000, but you know, this is way more powerful. So it's freaking. This is the starting BORG ship, like the starting BORG cube. So it's like looks like you need 5. So you need to be halfway through your tech still to get this. So it looks like the BORG can be a bit vulnerable until they get their first cube, and then once they get their first cube, God help anyone else. Because then look at this. As they go through their techs, the cubes keep improving. Look at the final cube, 5,000. So I mean, it's getting up to the kind of strength that the random event BORG cube in the original Birth of the Federation kind of had. It had like something like that, like thousands of hit points, and you know, good weapons as well from the looks of things. Although I think they might have downsized the weapons a little bit, which is probably necessary because the BORG was so overpowered in the original Birth of the Federation. BORG diamonds. Ooh, that looks a little more like the one we saw in the show, if I recall, in Voyager, I think. Did they make their first appearance, I think? And BORG probe. I remember these as well. This looks new. It looks like an interesting fan-made design, perhaps. The good old sphere. Look at that. So you get that about tech level 3 and 4, so it's not too far from the game start, and it's got 2,500 shields. So already you've got a BORG sphere that can blast like the best ships of the other races that like need like tech level 11. I mean, my god. Wow. Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. And then look at this. If those BORG cubes weren't dangerous enough, look at this. The mighty tactical cube. This is the end game stuff for the BORG. 7,500. So that's significantly more powerful than the best standard BORG cube. And then, if that's not enough, they got another one. Look at that. 10,000 shields. That's insane. Just for a reminder, the best ships of some of the other races are lucky if they get 1,000 shield. Like, it's just insane. Ugh. Terrifying. Plasma torpedoes and pulse cannons. There's a truckload of them doing, well, there's only a few of them, but that truckload of damage. Absolutely devastating. A tactical sphere. That's new. 8,000. Wow. That's a nice new fan-made ship. That's pretty cool. Transports. The BORG Fleet Yard. Shipyard. They're just using that cool shot from Star Trek First Contact, which is actually meant to be the inside of just one BORG cube, not really a fleet yard, but it's such a cool shot. Who cares? BORG complex, and of course they've got plenty of, there's some cool moments in Voyager which show massive BORG complexes and bases. So these are the big sort of basically star bases, deadly buildings. 60,000 shields on a star base. That's ridiculous. Wow. You'd need like 100 of the best ships pretty much of another race to bring down one of those things. I think that needs a bit more balancing. But look at this. You can build a trans-warp hut, so presumably that would allow the BORG to zap ships around the galaxy, just making them even more deadly. Uni-complex. So I wonder what that one is all about. It's got weapons. It's got a truckload of weapons, 100 pulse cannons and plasma torpedoes. My goodness. No shields. How strange. Very interesting. So yeah, as you can see, the BORG got some very cool stuff. And what do they get? Do they get anything else that I can't see yet? Let's have a look. Yeah, it looks like there's a few. Oh my god, there's another tactical cube. There's another tactical cube. That's insane. Oh, is that what I think it is? Oh, it's the fusion. Okay, they've taken this from Armada 2. Fans of the Armada games would know that in Armada 2 you could get 8 BORG cubes, or tactical BORG cubes, and combine them into this ultra super fusion cube thing that could just demolish everything. They've added that to the game. God knows, can you imagine what the stats are for that? It's probably 60,000 again or something. That's insane. Oh my god, they're so powerful. What's that? Oh, so there's also, yeah, that's right, Tactical Cube 3 was the one I could see. There's actually 2 more Tactical Cube levels. That's insane. Wow. So yeah, if you want to be ridiculously powerful and kick ass, play as the BORG. I haven't looked at the prices, but presumably a lot of this is balanced out by everything being ridiculously overpriced. If it's not, it should be. It should be half impossible to build one of these things, like ridiculously long to build it, because you've got to give the other races a chance to get you. Otherwise, yeah, too overpowered. But that's amazing. That's okay. So let's have a look at the next race. I reckon I reckon now I'll just do Federation, and then we'll have a look at the evil Terran Empire before I start going for the other alien races, and because everyone likes playing as the Federation. So we'll go Tech Level Supreme, Minor Races May, yeah, dense, yeah, so small, fair enough.
Loading game. Loading game.
A new turn has begun.
New turn is beginning. See, there's a bit more voice stuff in this one compared to Supremacy. I think the units have a lot of different voices as well. So this is so it looks like this is a little bit different, but still using the same graphical resources as the Supremacy demo, which I love. Like, I love the smooth planet animation and graphics. It's beautiful. Like, we just saw Australia go past. Here's Africa. Like, you know, it's great. Like, I love that graphics. Planets are moving much slower than in Supremacy, I've noticed, though. Background graphics is a bit different, I think, but you've basically got your Mercury and Earth and Mars and the asteroid belt, Jupiter. I like how they've created an accurate solar system, and then these guys love their Pluto as well. I mean, I think a lot of this stuff will be similar simply because a lot of this work was done before the split. But look at that, we've got a big starbase, we've got a few Federation ships. Very nice. Look at that, we've got some Defiance. We've literally started the game with some Defiance. That's pretty cool. Very nice. Look at this. This is something I like about Birth of Federation 2, which I don't think this is implemented in Supremacy yet, and that basically in Supremacy they'll build, minor races will build ships eventually, but they don't start with them, whereas if you select things, I think, to Supreme in Birth of Federation 2 here, the minor races will start with their own fleets, and they'll often be ships we recognise from the TV show. Bajoran attack ship, you know, and they're actually the ships from the show. Calestronian. Wow. See, that's the incredible, like, the minor races they've covered in, like, every minor race you can, there's the Klingons nearby, every minor race you can think of is basically in this this game, which is awesome. So, whenever you think back to your favourite episodes where there was some bad guy of the week or whatever, odds are they're in this game, and they've got ships that match the ones you saw in the show, which is really cool. So, we've I was going to go to the colony first, sorry, so we'll go to Earth, have a look around. Same pictures pretty much as what we saw in Supremacy, so obviously a lot of this stuff was decided before the split. It's pretty similar stuff. Fleet Yard's a different picture though. Order Battery, I think that's a different picture. I think this stuff's pretty much the same, but I love the artwork. Isn't it beautiful? It's like this massive future Federation colony kind of thing. Yeah, it's the Utopia Planitia graphics. All this stuff's pretty... Oh, I like that. Genesis Research Lab. That's a beautiful picture. Because that's not from the film, that's artwork based off what we saw in the film. Good stuff. Moon Habitation, so they've gone with their own picture. That's I like that. That's awesome. Battery Starfleet Intelligence. Look at that. I don't remember seeing that in the Supremacy demo. That's great shot. Look at the clouds and the ships. Beautiful. Subspace Jammer, Surplus Depot, and a good old Utopia Planitia. That's the same shot as in Supremacy. That's beautiful. I love that shot. Lots of shipyards, existing structures. We've got lots of things here. Alright, now let's go to science. Have a look at some of these ships. Look at that stuff. Good stuff. Starfleet Academy. Beautiful. Atomic Simulator. Trade Center. Great shot. Great shot. Yeah, I love that shot for Utopia Planitia. Of course, we're playing as the humans. Now, this will probably be pretty similar to what we saw in Supremacy. I think a lot of this stuff was decided previously. There might be some minor differences, but I'll talk about this again. I love what these guys have done to cover all eras of Star Trek, because the original Birth of the Federation, the Microprose only had the license to Next Generation, so for old Federation ships they could only use old designs that appeared in Next Generation, so you couldn't have the original series ships and the movie ships. Because the only ones from that era to ever appear in Next Generation, I think, was the Excelsior class, and then I think most of the other ships from that era that appeared, like maybe what is it, the Defiant, whatever the class that was, Miranda or something. There was that one, and then the other ones I think like were basically ones that were made, kit bashed for Next Generation, like Picard's old ship, the Stargazer, and stuff like that. So, you know, they were very limited in what they could do, whereas, you know, these guys don't have that limit. And I talked about this before as well, like us Federation fans can be very picky, you know, and that we have our favourite eras, we have our favourite races, so this covers that great. And that, you know, look at that, that's clearly Enterprise NX era. Look at the engines. Then you got Original Series era, because you can tell from the engines. Then you got Next Generation style era, and then we got Construction Ship, Original Series, and it gets to sort of next. Oh, that looks more Original Series as well. Interesting. And then look at this, the Cruiser NX Enterprise design. Then it becomes Original Series Constitution class. Then it becomes the movie era, and I've always loved this design, especially as a kid. I loved it. Had a big model of it. And then it becomes the Excelsior class. And then we've got the Explorer Division, which starts with Ambassador, and then of course the Mighty Galaxy class. Look at that nice 660 shields there. And just remember, like, the Borg ship stats. You know, let's attack that 60,000 starbase with this and see how that goes. Wow. And then we've got the frigates here. We'll go for the eras. There we go. There's the Miranda. And then this one's, I think this is a fan-made design. I don't recognise it. There is something weirdly familiar about those things up there, though, but I don't think it was ever in the show. And there we go. There's Picard's old Constellation Stargazer ship. Heavy destroyer. This was the what was it? Yeah, the new Miranda, is that what it was? Basically what it is, or is it just? Oh, it's the steam runner. That's what they call it, the steam runner. I think these first appeared in First Contact, if I recall. And one offloading a few torpedoes right above the Enterprise. And that cool sequence. Hospital ships. And of course we know that one from the TNG finale. So I love it how it just covers the eras and it gives us. What's this? Raiders. Mankind's to raid Earth's surround. What's that all about? This wasn't in the Supremacy deal. Sabotage, that's another one I don't recognise. What's all this about? They've added some. These guys have added some different things to the Supremacy people. I'm not sure if it's very Starfleety though, is it? Alright, Scout Ship, Original Era, go to Movie Era, Next Gen Era, and I recognise that one too. It was in Deep Space Nine. Spy Ship, what is this? They've added these weird new categories of ships. It doesn't seem very Federation to me. Maybe it's an accident or something, or I don't know. They say Starfleet Spy Service, so it doesn't look like an accident. Oh well. Strike Cruiser. That looks like a cool looking fan design. Nebula. Surveyor. Ah yes, we know that one. Oberth, that's very frequently used ever since its debut in Star Trek 3. Ah yes. Yes, the Nova from Voyager. I can't remember the Equinox. Yeah, Equinox was the name of that ship. That's a nifty-looking little ship. So that's very cool. I love that. Once again, going through the eras. Now you're probably thinking, "Where's the Sovereign?" That's okay. We just haven't got the tech for that. Even when you start with Supreme Tech, so I'll show you that in a sec. But here's the fleet yards. Looks like they've. Oh, these guys have got different images to Supremacy, going through the different eras. So that looks interesting. Outposts, Science Station, Starbase, Starbase 2, there's the mighty Federation Starbase we all know and love, 900 shields, lots of weapons, very nice. So if we go to, oh no wait, we stay here, we go to Research Matrix, should be able to see the ships we don't have yet. Yeah, there we go. So similar to Supremacy, you get at the end of the game you get a tactical cruiser, which of course was that wonderful ship from that Voyager episode when the Doctor got zapped over to back to the Federation, and the Romulans had stolen the ship, and it could separate in different pieces and stuff. And yeah, so I can't remember the name of the ship, but it was a cool design. What else have we got here? There we go. There's the mighty Sovereign Explorer 3, and there should be. Oh yeah, there's what do they call it? I can't remember. Akira, is it? Akira, I think, for the final strike cruiser. And Defiant is of course Heavy Destroyer 3, which we've already got a couple of. Very nice. Alright, so that's sort of the Federation arsenal, and you can see their interface here. So let's zoom out. Big galaxy, lots of fun to be had. So I think we'll get on to our next race now. Alrighty, let's have a look at this Terran Empire. This is obviously something that's unique to Birth Federation 2. I don't know if the Supremacy team plan to implement the Terran Empire in their version, so this could be something that ends up being quite unique to the Birth of Federation 2 project. So let's have a look.
Loading game.
I think they're pretty
Loading
incomplete.
game.
A new turn has begun.
Interesting interface. So it's sort of Federation LCARs, but they got one with a very yellow look, which I suppose is fitting, because if I recall, whenever we saw the Terran Empire in the show, they had sort of very yellow interface stuff and yellow flags on their ships and things, which was interesting. So Galaxy. Ooh. Oh, I like that music. Very nice music. That's pretty cool. Hopefully it's not too loud, and hopefully it's not drowning out my voice, though. I did try to set the good volume, so hopefully that's all fine. Alright, so this is interesting. Look at this. We're starting in an alternate solar system. It's like TE, Terran Empire. I guess that means Terran Empire, Mercury. So that's interesting. What happened to Jupiter? And Saturn? Maybe some horrible tests the Terrans did or something. Who knows? Alrighty, let's get into their text and stuff, have a look at what they can do. I think the system stuff is all like, oh no, it looks like they got very Dominion looking buildings. I think those are the pictures used for Dominion. We'll find out when I show you guys the Dominion, but yeah, looks like this is all very early stuff going on. It'll be probably a mix of Federation images and Dominion images from the looks of things there. If we go to here, we can have a look at the kind of stuff they can do. So this talks about the Terran Empire. Not clear where the Empire begun. Jonathan Archer once stated the Empire existed for centuries. Now I think, yeah, so they've taken the image of the cool alternate NX class from the Terran Empire and used that, but I think they're all placeholders. Yeah, see? It's just using placeholders. So it's basically, I think, got the same, pretty much the same stuff as the Federation. Like, that's, I think, similar to the Galaxy class stats, I think. Maybe they've given them more shields and weapons. Oh, it's hard to remember what the stats were, but yeah. So this is obviously very work in progress. Now, I've been chatting with the Birth Federation team on their forums about some ideas I had, because I'll show you guys some pictures, and in fact, of my ideas, and I'll talk about it. Obviously, these guys are going to need to come up with Federation sort of ships that still look different to Federation ships. Otherwise, it's just you won't be able to tell them apart. And yes, they could just grab every Federation ship and put some yellow on it and some Terran flags, but it would be cool to do some differences. And I got this picture here is a great example of that, where the Star Trek Armada 3 guys have basically taken a Sovereign and added a third warp engine on it, and basically covered it in more weapons, and they've called it the Imperator class, which is basically the new flagship of the newly reformed Terran Empire after the Deep Space Nine Terran Rebellion events. And I thought, well, I suggested, why don't you guys do something similar and make your own sort of alternate Sovereign, because it actually reminds me of the Galaxy X design, which was used in the original Birth of Federation 1, which, I'd noticed that's not been in any of the fan sequels, and I can understand that, because it used to annoy me as well. I think it probably annoyed a lot of purists that Microprose sort of chucked this ship in, but it was meant to be this sort of alternate future ship, and it didn't really fit with, because they were in the game, it was basically this in-between ship between the Galaxy class and the Sovereign, and it didn't exist in that era, so it's just, it was a bit out of place. So I figured this is, for anyone who likes that design, this is the perfect way to bring it back. Bring back the Galaxy X design, And as you can see here, me using it in one of my old Birth of Federation 1 games, bring it back and cover it in some yellowish Terran Empire flags, and bang, you've got your Galaxy class starship for the evil Terran Empire designed. And they could use that idea for heaps of other ships, like Excelsior, and the Constitution refit ships would all look pretty cool with a third warp engine. Then just give it some more weapons, some Terran flags, and bang, you've got your Terran Empire design. So yeah, I think that's pretty much everything I want to show you, because I don't think anything else is really different to the Federation. It looks pretty similar there. I think, hang on, if I go to, is it the Matrix? Yeah, there's no images set up yet. So these guys are very work in progress at the moment. So we'll go back to the main menu now. Alrighty. Klingons, let's do them. So I've got
Loading game. Loading game.
A new turn has begun.
I like the interface, it's pretty good. I think I prefer what the Supremacy guys have done with their Klingon interface though. But I like this actually. I like how they're like batleth buttons. That's kind of nifty. I like that. So yes, we've got a new galaxy made up, and we've got Kronos, some scout ships, destroyers, battle cruisers. Oh, these similar to the Supremacy project. These guys in the Birth of Federation 2 project have started doing their nice new sort of main menu button button thingos that are different for each race. So that'll be science. I like how these guys still tell you what they are, because as cool as the big Klingon symbol all the pictures looked in Supremacy, you don't know what the pictures mean until you click on them, because we can't read Klingon, so we still need to be told. So I like that these guys still tell you and just use a Klingon font. So we're in science, encyclopedia. Let's see what the Klingons have got. Oh, actually, what I should have done is just popped in the system view first, just to give you guys an idea of that, so you can see some of their cool buildings. I think most of this will be pretty similar to the Supremacy as well. There might be a few different pictures though. Oh, I like that. I think that was in Supremacy though. So Klingon buildings, a mixture of fan art and some of that stuff's generic. Things. Oh, they got different orbital batteries. That's a nice touch. Praxis energy base. Kaboom! Klingons recycle? Since when? No, I'm sure they do. All spacefaring races would have some form of it for efficiency. Nice shot. Shield generator. Surplus depot. Lots of shipyards. The Great Hall. Powered down. Now we'll go to science and we'll have a look at some more stuff then. Forced labour. Oh, nice. Where did they get that from? Must be some brilliant fan artwork or something. Very good. Yeah, it's the mining prison. Look at that. Very cool. The Klingons. So let's have a look at this will probably be pretty similar to Supremacy as well. I don't know how much this has changed. I don't pay as much attention to some of the other races as I do the Federation, although I still played as all of them in the original game, of course. So this looks like they're going through the eras nicely. You're going from that, Enterprise to the original series, movie era, and then to sort of the next generation version, because of course this the Katinga was something that was just used, and the D7 or whatever, it was sort of, had a few different incarnations used right for all the eras. Klingon colony ships. Actually, that looks like a Tok'ra shuttle from Stargate, but probably just similar. Colony ship, construction ship. That looks like a unique fan design. As is that. That looks like a mini version of the Negva. Interesting version, alternative bird of prey there. They got raiders too. Maybe that's a bug. Maybe these, after all that these things are not meant to appear. These ships. It's strange. Don't know what that's all about. Anyway, back onto the regular ships. We've got this different era scouts. Good old bird of prey there. No, we'll skip that. Strike Cruiser. I remember they had the extra powerful bird of praise in the original Birth of the Federation, and they stuck with that here. Cavort D12s. We saw them used in another alternate universe, I think, against the Enterprise and the Klingon Federation War. Yesterday's Enterprise. Fan ship. Looks like those are all fan designs. The Negvar and some of the really good stuff is still to be discovered, so we'll go check that out in a sec. Nice Klingon stations. That has some resemblance to some stuff we've seen. Very nice. And if I go to, what is it, Matrix. There it is. The Negvar is the Attack Cruiser 3, and I think the Vorcha was the Attack Cruiser 2, wasn't it? So that's fitting. Anything else? Looks like that's all they get after that. Yeah. Yep, that's the final ship for the Klingons. So there you go. There's a quick tour of the Klingons. We'll go back to the main menu and do the next one. Who should we do next? I'm going to jump to the Dominion next. Let's have a look at them, because I'm sure that's a race everyone wanted to play as, and you have to play as them in the original Birth Federation, you have to mod the game heavily.
Loading game.
Workaround stuff, so it's nice to have them as an actual proper built into the game race in this fancy. Nice interface, I quite like that, that's pretty cool. Ooh, hardcore music. And look at that, they actually start in the Amarian Nebula, where the Changeling homeworld originally was. Isn't that brilliant? The Great Link. I love that attention to detail. That is so cool. You know, as a DS9 fan, I just eat that stuff up. Good stuff. Alright, so lots of, probably already seen some of these Dominion buildings, because they were just placeholder graphics for some of the other races that we're playing with. How good's that? Changeling network. Doesn't look very Changeling, though, does it? It's got a highway with cars. But it's a cool picture. I like that. Health Center. Ooh, nice picture. Orbital battery. Vorta cloning lab. Nice picture. Very nice. Quantum simulator. Ketracell White Factory. Very nice. Let's get some science going. Let's have a look. What do we got here? Anti-proton array. Changeling replacements. Ha! Is that Spock? It is Spock. Very nice. They should make a Spock. That'd be cool. Changeling Spock. Why not? Commercial exchange. They've obviously taken some really cool artwork and made them purple. For a lot of them purple. Which fits. I mean, hey. I'll take it. I'll accept it. Look at that. That's more familiar. The Great Link. That's what we think of when we think of changelings in their home planet. Very nice. The Jem'Hadar. So they need to add the yeah, they should have like either the three races of the Dominion, Jem'Hadar, Vorta, and Changeling as 3 separate entries, or rename this Jem'Hadar to, I don't know, Dominion. Like either generalize this one or split the 3 races. I think that would be better. But anyway, that's possibly what I'm trying to think what they did in Supremacy. I think they might have done it. I don't know, can't remember. Let's have a look at this. Will be exciting because obviously we've only ever seen a few different Dominion designs. There's going to be a lot of fan content here, different variations of the Dominion ships we love. Battle cruiser. So we sort of have these primitive Dominion ships that we've never seen before. And we get to the more familiar designs. Here we go. Yep, this is the one of course we saw a lot in the show. Used as a flagship on the attack on Deep Space Nine. We get to the bigger battleships. These big super ships that get very strong. The Battleship 3 we haven't got yet, which is that super dreadnought that's like 3 times the size or power or whatever of a Galaxy class starship. I think it goes under the name the Mantis or something, I don't know. It has different names in different fan groups, so we'll check that out in a minute in the future text. Interesting designs. Group ship. Raider crap again, we'll skip that. Scouts. Transport. Dominion Fleet Yard. Dominion Station. Starbase. That's pretty cool. Is that what, I'm trying to remember, there was that Deep Space Nine episode where we find out that obviously Martok and Bashir are actually prisoners in this starbase when Worf gets captured. I'm trying to remember what that base looked like. It might have been that one. I'm not sure. Or maybe they... If it's not here, I reckon they should take that graphics and stick it in there, because that's the only Dominion station we've probably ever seen, I think. And, Matrix... What have we got here? There it is! Battleship 3. Scary stuff. I had a chat with them about that, I think, when I was discussing ship stats with the makers behind this. I think I got them to beef it up a little bit. I can't quite remember if they did, though. I suggested to both Supremacy and the Federation 2 guys. Because this thing's meant to be 3 times the power of a galaxy, and obviously it's a bit unbalanced if we do that literally in this game, but I think it needed to be still stronger than it was. I think I suggested to keep it up around the 1,000 shield points mark, and do some hull too. What's that? Another battle cruiser. Very nice. So there you go. That's a quick look at the Dominion. Pretty cool. Who's left? I think Romulans and Cardassians. So we'll do Romulans.
The Romulan Star Empire.
Loading game. Loading game.
A new turn has begun.
Here we go. Look at this. Nice. I like the colours. Nice Romulan interface. I think I still prefer how the Supremacy guys have done it with their LCARs. Theirs feels a little bit more like what we saw in the show. But these guys have definitely got the sort of the colours going. It's pretty well. Going pretty well there. Very nice dramatic music. And we should have Romulus and Remus. Romulus Prime. Remus. Beautiful. Romulus 1. Green. Jupiter. That looks pretty cool. Very nice. Some interesting looking ships here. Destroyers and scouts. Probably from the Nemesis sort of era. Let's have a look. Go to the system. Oh, nice. I like the building graphics already. Some cool stuff here. So look at this stuff. Fabrication. Laboratory. Intel. Astrophysics. So I think these guys are probably pretty similar to Supremacy in that they've taken lots of cool shots from the big artwork matte paintings that have been used for the Romulan homeworld and Next Generation and Nemesis and stuff like that. Because all you got to do is just, cut a little piece of that giant painting out and, just pick a building and bang, you've got it for whatever building you need. Because no one knows what's really going on inside these buildings. Night Patrol. Well, Romulan orbital batteries. Very nice. Shipyards. Oh, wow, that solar array looks like a pretty cool thing. Very nice. Let's have a look at what they can do, eh? Now, I've been chatting to both the Supremacy guys and the Birth of the Federation guys about beefing up the Romulans a bit because I felt like a lot of the Nemesis content had been missed. And by that, I mean the best ship here was still the, I think the standard Warbird and the, oh look at that Tau Xiao headquarters. Wicked, I love that. Was still sort of the Romulan Warbird, and then they did have the Warbird that we saw in Nemesis trying to take on Shinzon, but they didn't have Scimitar or whatever it is. Yes, so I was like, we've got to have the Scimitar in the game, guys. It's meant to be this super dreadnought. I reckon it should be up around the power of a Dominion dreadnought, and so yeah, they took my advice. I also said we need some more Reman, however you pronounce it, content, and I suggested that there's that line that Riker says in Nemesis about how they're used as shock troops and cannon fodder against the Dominion in the war, Reman soldiers. And we also saw from Enterprise that Remans are used as personal guards for the Romulan elite and stuff like that, so I suggested they add a building, a Reman, because they already had a Reman mine, but I suggested a Reman shock troop centre where it basically adds to the Romulan race's ground combat abilities. And yeah, so both teams were happy for my suggestion. They and they've added it to their game, so there should be in their next version. So I look forward to seeing that and showing it to you guys and going, "Ooh, I made that!" Because they actually, they said, "Look, if you want these things added to the game, you've got to come up with the pictures and the text. We like the idea, but you've got to make the effort. We're already busy." So I was like, "Hey, you know what? No worries." And so I went and found some pictures, some text, and yeah, they kept my text pretty much, which is really cool. So I'm looking forward to showing you guys that stuff. So yeah, when you guys play in this game one day and you go, "Oh, well, awesome, they've got the scimitar," you can go, "We can thank Blake Sanctum for that one." I mean, hey, it probably would have ended up there eventually, but I got there first with that suggestion. So I'm very happy that they accepted it. I mean, yeah, they could have told me to get stuffed, because obviously it's their project. But what's really great of it, both teams are really nice people, and they're like really open to suggestions, criticism, whatever. So if you're a die-hard Trekkie and you feel like something's missing or something's wrong, you can go tell them, and they might listen to you. I mean, they have every right not to, so be prepared for that. But odds are they'll probably really consider your suggestion, because everyone just wants to make this the ultimate Star Trek game. So we're all working together to do that. And the Birth of Federation 2 guys in particular were really nice. They even offered me a spot on the team to help out developing content, and I was so tempted, but I was just like, I can't, I'm so busy. I've already got my own Star Trek Doom and Quest for Glory Hexen projects, and my YouTube channel, my website, and my own gaming. It's I'm already, and that's all outside of regular real life stuff. So I just didn't have the time, sadly, to fully accept that offer. But I'll try to help every now and then with bug testing and sending suggestions and things like that, pictures, and anything I can do to help in a limited capacity at least. So let's have a look. So we've got some of these ships will probably just be from the original Birth of Federation, but it looks like they've come up with some cool fan-made stuff. I recognise that ship from Birth of Federation, because I always hated the design. Construction ship, that's interesting. Oh, there we go. That'll be Enterprise NX era Romulans. I remember that when they appeared, when the Enterprise hit a mine. We know that from original series era. Some interesting fan designs there. Very nice. Critics, blah blah blah. That's a British sabotage crap again. Science ship. Nice. Scout. We know the Romulan Scout, don't we? So that's the familiar one we recognise there. That's similar to sort of that Nemesis ship, it's not the actual one. Transport. Nice design. There we go. There's the Warbird. So there's of course the one from the Klingon Romulan Alliance in the original series. And there's of course the Warbird that we all know and love from the Next Generation era. And I'll show you the other stuff in a sec. There's still some other ships. These star bases. Most of them are fan designs actually, and not taken from Birth of Federation 1, which is interesting. What have we got here? There it is. So that's the Warhawk is it Valir, or I can't remember the actual name of it, but it's basically that other Warbird class that was used in Nemesis by the Romulans to try and stop Shinzon. So at the moment in this version, that's the ultimate Romulan ship. However, thanks to, like I said, my recent efforts, you guys should get access to the scimitar in the next version. That's interesting, another fan destroyer design there. Oh, another one there, what's that? Battlehawk. Interesting. So there's some pretty cool stuff there for Romulan players. So watch this space in the next version. I think we've got one more to go, don't we? So yeah, we've done that. Cardassians, that's it. Sorry for any Cardassian players who've been watching the whole thing going, when are you going to get to them? We're here.
Loading game. Loading game.
Here we go. Not bad with the colours and interface. I don't know if it has a particularly Cardassian LCARS kind of feel to it just yet. Might be a bit more work required. Yeah, they got more of those C3 box things, which I'm not sure if that's really Michael Okuda style, but I do like the colours used though. That's nice. Very nice. Look at that, we've got a big Deep Space Nine there. Union Starbase. Cardassia, looking very Cardassia Prime looking, yep. Barren World. Giving them some gas giants from the looks of things. Cardassia, tiny Arctic. It was Pluto for a second. It actually kind of does resemble our solar system a bit, doesn't it? Let's go have a look in there. Oh, look at that. Looks like we've got some wicked artwork. Cardassian themed artworks. Let's have a look at that. Nice. 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 Oh, how good is that one? I'd love to see the original painting they got to make that. How cool is that? That is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Wow. Great stuff. Oh yes, the Tupper Council. I remember that. They get overthrown in the end, don't they? Centers, standard buildings. Oh, look at that. Isn't that wicked? Ah, there we go. See, here's one of the few races whose orbital batteries we actually have seen in a series. So, of course, these guys have got the correct versions. That's excellent. We saw these in Deep Space Nine, carving up the Alliance fleet of the Federation Romulans Klingons. Re-Education Center. Nice music. I like how they got very unique music. I think it's different. Looks like they gone in a different direction to Supremacy with their music choices. Another thing that makes both these two projects unique. Ah, that's a great picture, isn't it, guys? I love it. Shipyards. Things around the place. Theoretical simulator. Looks like a pretty cool picture. Phoenix facility. Another beautiful painting from the looks of things. Let's go check that stuff out, eh? Oh, look at that! That is awesome. You just want to go to these places when you look at those kind of images, don't you? It's just beautiful. Oh, wicked. Very nice. So, of course, they've obviously taken some great artwork and sort of, coloured it to that particular race to have that nice desert Cardassian barren planet look with future text. Wow, look at that! Strip mining. Cool shot. Obsidian order. There, oh, there's that theoretical thing, look at that. Nice. I love it. Let's have a look at the ships. So there's the Cardassian race. A lot of this will just be from Birth Federation 1. I remember that ship, I called that ship the cardboard box ship because, at my work we have to, put together cardboard boxes occasionally to pack things up, and seriously, that is what a cardboard box looks like before you fold it together. I don't know what Micropros were thinking, but nothing against these guys. They're obviously, we're starved. We've only ever seen 2 different Cardassian ships ever, pretty much. 3 if you include that missile in Voyager. But yeah, so I don't blame them for just keeping the Birth Federation designs, and obviously they're going to have to come up with their own. That's an interesting one, isn't it? Almost looks like the BORG from Babylon 5. I think that was in original Birth Federation. So that one too. Bad. That's like a version of the one we all know and love, which I'm forgetting its name, but we'll see it in a sec. Ooh, font error, guys. You'll, if you haven't already fixed that, you might want to fix that one. I think if that's what I think it is, that happens to me when I'm creating websites, and if you copy and paste out a word. Interesting. Class. Look at these massive dreadnought ships. They're giving the Cardassian super dreadnoughts entirely fan-made designs there. Pretty cool. There we go. Interesting. There is that nice. They're using a Gala class picture, but yeah. Nice. Rice is nice. Look at that. Cool. There we go. Deep Space Nine. There's a couple of versions there of it. Beautiful. I loved that when I was playing the original Birth Federation, building a, Terok Nors, Deep Space Nines, and I used to beef them up in all the star bases and the ini files as well. Game settings, whatever they were stored in, and make them much stronger so a fleet you'd need a fleet to bring them down. So I could recreate some Deep Space Nine style fleets attacking Terran situations. Now let's have a look. It should be the Gala class here somewhere. Dreadnought 3. Yeah, I don't think that's a Gala class, so maybe they already have the Gala class. Can't quite tell, just the picture's so tiny. Maybe that is the Gala class down there. Probably is. There's a strike. I don't know. Anyway, so that's the Cardassians. Hope you guys enjoyed. I might just have a quick muck around game like I did at the end of the other one. Let's have just a quick game as the Federation.
Loading. Game.
Now, you know, I'm looking forward to the next version, because this version will crash a lot. There's a bug with the music when it changes tracks, it can crash, so as you can imagine that happens all the time. But we'll just send some guys out. Let's go visit, send some heavy destroyers. Scout. Go up here, find people, do stuff. Go, go, go. Cruiser. Go. Go. And... okay, here we go. Look at that. My Defiant's found some Kesprit. Kesprit. Oh, I know that name. Are they the ones who had the game? The game thing that like took over everyone's brains in Next Generation? No. I don't know. Nah, maybe not. I don't know. Can't remember. So I, probably shouldn't take them on with my Defiant. Although my Defiant's pretty strong. Like, no, I'll be nice. But yeah, combat is same as Supremacy. There is no 3D combat engine, but yet. But these guys, they've actually told me just a few days ago that they're working on one at the moment in the Unreal Engine. Anyway, Angolian. Algolians. Sorry. Kesprit. No, I was wrong. So Kesprit are... yeah, that's right. That super paranoid... yeah, that's right. I remember that now. Oh, we found the evil Terran Empire. Battle was averted. So there you go, we found lots of stuff. No one's living there. How do I do it? Do I right click? Colonize system. There we go. That's how you do it. So colonizing a system there. What do we got down here? Let's have a look at some stuff. I think this video's gone for too long, so I think I'll... plus one of the bugs is if you start with high level text, the game turns are really long for some reason. So they've something they've got to optimize in future versions. Yeah. Oh, what's that? What is that? Mirror Dawn Raider. Another Mirror Dawn Raider. Did I look at these guys already? Kalaran. The fact that I can't remember what half these bloody races are just shows how many minor races they've added to this game. It's incredible. Macalian, I don't remember them either. Jeez. It's insane. There's so much content. It's amazing. So yeah, well, I think I'll leave it there, guys. Like I said, there's a new this one was released I think late 2016, so it's getting on a bit now. So there's a new version coming that they've already told me. They fixed the music crashing bug. I basically gave them a month or two ago a crash test video. Every time I got a crash, I was recording it, so I sent it to them, and I think that helped them out in conquering some of these bugs. So the next version should be much more stable, which means you can actually have a proper game. And like with Supremacy, because I don't think Supremacy's crashed on me once. Their one's quite stable. So yeah, both projects are coming along really nicely, and I look forward to doing a follow-up comparison of these projects at the end of the year, perhaps, or early 2018. So now let's go on to part 3, where I show you guys Birth of the Empires. Bye.